What's up guys, D628 here, welcome to part something of the mini build. I am so behind in editing videos that I don't know where I'm at, but I know where I'm at with the car. And it's done. No, it's not done. Anyways, today I just got the turbo and the exhaust manifold on, but as you see, there's a missing nut there. Genuinely, no idea where it could have gone. Not gonna lie, I have no idea where it could have gone, but we are missing one there, so I'm gonna see if I can get one from the junkyard, because I'm gonna have to go back either way to get one because of the mirrors that I need to get and stuff. Anyways, got the bracket on, got everything pretty much torqued down except this one because it's gonna be easy one to access, even with the downpipe on there. And that's pretty much where we're at right now, is downpipe time. So this is actually the first modification that I'm gonna be putting on the car, is the downpipe. Because everything else that I've put on, water pump and all that stuff, has all been stock, OEM maintenance stuff. But this is the first mod that we're putting on to the vehicle, which is a catless downpipe. I don't know why that sounded like a Subaru, but speaking of Subaru, if you guys want to check out my Vegas video of picking up a WRX and going from Boise to Vegas to back in about 30 hours, hit the subscribe button down below and you'll see more videos of the WRX, which they're probably already out by now. Again, I don't know how these videos are going out, but anyways, this is the first thing that we're putting on. Only issue is I have to order a new O2 sensor because the one that's on the old one would not come out, and the bolt is shredded. I used heat, I used penetrant, I used everything. Could not take it off. So I'm gonna have to order a new O2 sensor, which is unfortunate. We do have the regular O2 sensor already on there. We have the upper one. I don't have the lower one. Hopefully this fits. It's from Flash Shark. Normally like 113 bucks, or it was like $97. I think it was like, I got it up for sale because I had some discount code. So hopefully it's good. All I need is a metal pipe that goes through. As long as the welds are good, which they look okay. As long as it holds, then I'm happy with it, because it's just a metal pipe that goes through. Like there's no baffling, there's no anything. I started unrouting the things here yesterday because the new coolant hoses that I have from Mishimoto were all over the place, but I do have it slightly figured out because we have this one here, which goes on the turbo, which I do have to tighten these out on here and put this one on. So, but once these three are on, all the oil stuff is, or all the turbo stuff is done, because we already have this one down here plugged in, and I just need to put these ones on with the new banjo bolts. Banjo bolts, I think is what they're called. But yeah, and then I have to get a new thing here, and that's pretty much it. We got everything bolted down to what's needed. The only thing I didn't put on is the bracket on the right side, because there's no way it could have fit on. The only way I could have done it if I drilled like a little hole to there, but with this bracket being held there, this is not going anywhere. And obviously with the top and bottom all bolted, it should be all fine. The bottom flange or whatever is not torqued down because I don't have it on the engine mount, and I have everything else torqued. Literally everything else is good. Just that right there is the only thing I need. I just really want to get on the engine mount. Engine is mounted. That's on. This is all on. Pretty much everything is on other than the valve cover. And the only reason that's not on is because I need to get some oil in there, and I don't want to do that before I do the whole oil pan thing that I explained earlier. So valve cover and connections. Getting everything connected back to what it was, and then putting the front mount on and doing the tubing for the coolant hoses, and the, you know, pretty much all the connections on there. And then yeah, everything else is going on pretty well. Drain the oil pan again, you can see how much still came out. So I definitely want to drop that to clean everything else that's in there, but more importantly, get that freaking red little stick out of there, because it's like right there, but have to take out the oil pan. So I was watching some videos Some people took off the exhaust. I don't know if I'm gonna have to do that because I can pretty much reach all the bolts without it. This one would be kind of an issue. I guess that's the only one that is an issue, but because there's like the way it goes down, so you just have to drop it in like, or like, you know, take it out and slide it across. I need to order a new gasket for this guy because I don't want to reuse it. Obviously, I don't even think you can. And then, yeah, I want to get that cleaned out and get that red stick out of it. And then I have to find what plug went here because obviously there was some kind of plug that went in here. All the manual ones, or all the junkyard minis, were all automatic, so they didn't have this. But I was trying to see if I could find one there. But yeah, I don't know what was on here. It seems like some rubber seal was on here or something, but yeah, this car is just so damn dirty. I cannot wait to like fully clean this thing, and hopefully it runs. Anyways, oil pan time. So I'll just take out all the bolts. I'm not gonna really worry about anything else because I can't even put it back on yet. And with this off, I'm gonna try to like clean as much as I can inside with like air and all that stuff, just to get as much stuff as I can out safely. All right, so here's the oil pan. I was able to do it without taking anything off the exhaust, and I'll be able to get a torque wrench in there. So at least for me, I was able to. So I don't know what other cars are, if they're a bit different. But yeah, that's why I want to take it out, because there's still so much sludge, like full sludge in there. See that? It's like congealed because there's brake cleaner in there. There's oil, coolant, God knows what. But yeah, that's why I want to take it out so I can get this cleaned up. And I was able to get this guy out. It was just sticking out right there on the side. But cool, got that out. Gonna order a seal. It should be here tomorrow. And then that's pretty much all I'm gonna do today because I can't really do much. Plus I gotta go to work. I gotta get ready for work. So gotta go drive some Thursday night, thirsty Thursday drunk retards around. All right, it's been a couple of days. I'm putting the final assembly on, but I wanted to show you guys this. This is how useful this flashlight is. I'm working on it, all right? And I'm working, and then it does that. I can't see anything. It's blinding my eyes. Amazing. Amazing stuff I work with. Anyways, O2 sensor came in for the downstream. Got the vacuum pump tightened. I don't know what the last stuff was that I did, but yeah, I got the O2 sensor connected. That's all good. Got this hose. I assembled the hosing there. Still not exactly sure how it goes there. I still need to do all the connections, all the wire connections. I got the oil pan in, new gasket, cleaned everything out of it. As you saw, it was really bad. So got that installed. New album, Kanye, Bully, so good. It's actually really good, I like it. And yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. So probably get this on tonight and hopefully some connections, hopefully get all the coolant hoses connected. That's like my goal today. Guys, we got a big problem. Not a big problem because I'll just take these lines out, but this is supposed to route over, not under. I have it under, and now I can't move this to get on this bracket here, and then I'm pretty sure some connections won't fit. Of course that happens to me. That's what happens when you take so long taking something apart and then have to put it together 2 months later. You just forget how everything goes. So anyways, I'm gonna have to take off this line here, and I'm gonna have to take off that line there, and then that way I can route that over and go at it like that. So fun. I swear, just looking for tools is all I do. I organized everything. Fucking there it is. Fuck off. Look at that beautiful intercooler. Massive. As you see, I am filling up coolant, but as you see, the CTS intake is not on yet, because there's the mass airflow sensor and the car didn't come with that part of the intake. So I'm gonna go to the junkyard and do it. So I'm just gonna get everything primed. There's no oil in it yet. I do have an oil filter in it. Putting just distilled water in it, just because I wanna do a flush as well on top of it, just because there is still some remnants of stuff inside that I wanna get out. So I am just filling it with distilled water. I'm gonna put some coolant cleaner in there as well, just because I did go through all the heater hoses and stuff, but there's probably still some in there, and the heat from the engine will help with that. So I'm just gonna do distilled water, and then I'm gonna do coolant after the fact. But I didn't triple check everything just yet, but I did a 1.5 check on everything. And I think everything is decently well, and everything is connected to where it needs to be. This one was kind of a pain to put on, but I did get it on there. And yeah, so pretty much everything is connected. Vacuum hoses. The only thing that's not connected is the mass airflow sensor and like lights and whatever stuff this is. I don't know, there's a lot of things here. I just realized there's like a lot of things here. So what is it, like fog lights? I think the horns was one of them. And then on this side is, I know, the windshield washer thing, which is, I think, this, something else. Some wires are disconnected here, and then this as well is for the windshield washer, and then something here. No idea. I don't have the ignition coils connected just because I want to get that oil pressure up on there. But yeah, I'm just filling up coolant now to see if there's any leaks. So I'm gonna just burp the air as much as I can by hand to get that out of the way, to see if there's any leaks. I put some in and there's not been leaks yet. Put oil in there. I did pre-oil the cams and the bearings and the lifters and all that stuff, so I put a little bit of oil on those. I have to be kind of careful with it just because this filler is not exactly for this tank, but it seems to be working. That I want to get out. There's some flower petals in the tank here, so I want to get that out before it moves anywhere. You're wondering what I mean flower petals? There's fucking these stupid, from that dumb tree right there. This is the most nerve-wracking part of the job, is getting this all ready to go. I am using some Castrol Edge Eurocar 5W40. Picked it up at Walmart. It's like the only European option. Should be about 4.6, so I'm just gonna fill her up. She hasn't had oil in her in so long. I might need to go though, because this guy is the one buying the car. So I'll be back. All right, guys. I was at a German restaurant, ate a donut kebab. Been wanting one since I've been back into the States, since last year. But the car is ready, no leaks so far. We don't have the ignition coils in, like I've said. I'm going to prime up the motor right now. I'm gonna plug in the thing. We don't have the mass airflow sensor connected, again, because we don't have the part of the car that's with that. So I'm gonna go to the junkyard tomorrow and get that, but we are going to turn on the vehicle, or at least attempt to, in the next minute of this. So it's been a long journey. I'm excited, I'm nervous. This is it. If you guys hear a fan blowing, it is blowing because who knows how much smoke there will be if it turns on, and just so it can come out of there. Anyways, so I almost just tripped and fell. There's just one last thing I need to do before I turn the key on this vehicle. We have to give it its glory of its nation, of where it's from. So we are going to put the flag here, and now it is ready to turn on once I plug in the battery. I don't even know where the keys are. I genuinely don't know where the keys are at for this thing. Got battery plugged in. Okay, dokie. Just making sure that this is good and connected. We have the ignition coils disconnected, that way we can just prime the vehicle. Codes found 1, ambient air temperature. I'm guessing that's the MAF sensor, whatever. Anyways, oh my God. All right, what else we got? Mass airflow, okay, that's fine. Engine coolant temperature sensor, high. So I wonder if there's something wrong with that. And then manufacturer control. I'm gonna erase all codes. Erase failure. I don't think you can erase codes with this little system here, so I'm gonna have to get another computer for this car specifically. The fan is on for some reason because it's sensing that it's high for some reason. Not sure why on that, but all right, let's see what's going on here. Let me get the other key in because I know one of the keys is like weird. All right, so it's not even doing anything. I don't want it. I wonder if it's because of the ignition coils not being plugged in, but I don't want that to be plugged in because I want it to build up pressure. I just hear the fuel pressure or the fuel pump. I could pull out the fuel pump thing, but with the previous car that I did that with, the Chevy Sonic that I was working on, it did not work like that and it just flooded the system. And I'm trying not to do that here. So it says it showed key battery was like low. All that stuff's fine. I wish I had a better computer for this because this is not showing hardly anything on here. So yeah, it's just like turning off and on. That's not what I want it to do. Let me try this key again. Yeah, it's not wanting to do anything. And I don't want to plug in the ignition coils because I don't want it to. How about I do this? Hold on. I don't know if this is smart or not, but come on, you German car. Do something. So I plugged in the things to see if it'll like try to produce spark, but now it won't because they're not plugged in. So let me try that. Let me reset the car. Okay. Yeah, because it should be turning on there with that click. Nope. All right. I'm gonna try to get to the bottom of it because I'm not exactly sure what is going on. What kind of sensor, you know, what if something's not correctly installed or something. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm gonna try to figure it out and then we'll try to turn it on at the end of this episode. That was anticlimactic, but it's also climactic because the car won't do anything. So I'm just gonna go through everything again and make sure everything is good. All right, discovered what the issue was. It was the ground wire. I did not have it fully tightened down, but there's the ground wire right there. I didn't have it tightened down. I had it like on there pretty tight, like hand tight, wasn't enough. Anyways, it was going, it was priming, but I have a leak going on, right? There's this leak right here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but like wetness back there and some on the floor, but it smells like fuel. With that being said, I potentially have, I can't see from here, but I would imagine I have a leak coming from the high pressure fuel line that's down there. I don't think it's here because I don't see any liquid remnants from anything here per se, but I see it down there. And I'm pretty sure it's fuel. I really don't think it's water because the smell, like, unless there's just so much fuel remnants on all the objects on this vehicle, which I highly doubt. I'm pretty sure it's from that fuel line. So I did tighten it down. I know that. Okay, so good news and bad news. Good news, don't have to take off the manifold because it is not one of the injectors. I was looking at it again. I was like, there's no way it's the injector because it's so deeply seated inside where it just made no sense. Even though it felt like it was coming from the second injector, it's because there was so much, you know, it's such a high pressure line that it would squirt out of the nozzle part, and then it would just, like, because there was so much, it would just dribble across the whole rail, and then it would leak from like the second one. So I put a phone down there, as you guys saw, and So how was that? So that's a good news. But bad news is I don't know why it's leaking. Hopefully it's not cross-threaded. I don't think it should have been. It is tight enough. So what I'm gonna have to do is depressurize the system and then take that fuel rail off, inspect it, and kind of go from there. All right, as you can hear, the fan is still working. It's been like a day or so. I don't remember the last time I talked to you guys, but I did get another fuel line from the junkyard from a 2009 Mini Cooper S, and it's not leaking fuel anymore, so that's fixed. But as you can hear, that's still having an issue. But now I know what sensor this is. All right, shut the fuck up, fan. Holy shit. Okay, so now I know what sensor it is. So we did get the fuel line fixed, so that's good. But now, again, it's still reading that it's like 280 degrees Celsius, or 280 degrees Fahrenheit, 140 degrees Celsius. But that is this sensor right here, which, if you look, just comes out with no issue because that whole assembly is cracked. So I don't know if it's the inside that's not reading good or if it's this wire that's not reading the sensor. But yeah, other than that, it is it's good. And then I have an ambient air temp sensor as well, but that is something, I'm guessing it's one of these connectors behind the bumper, and it just detects like your ambient air or something. With this guy here, the mass airflow sensor, which I did pick up from a junkyard as well, and we did get it connected to that, but I have to go to the junkyard to grab any mounting points of the intake because one, I don't know if I kept them, two, I don't even know if it had them, which I think it did. Three, I don't have that old intake box anymore, which is really stupid of me because I need those bracket things. But I'll grab those when I go and get that intake stuff. All right, I'm gonna crank the engine one more time just to make sure the oil pressure's up and just make sure everything is good on there. But let's do that once. Oh man, I am so fucking nervous. This is it.